Hi, I'm just going to read through this PowerPoint and hopefully the music won't take off and be too loud for you. Uh, this is just the things I've been learning from Star Trek, and I thought I would pass it on. Star Trek is pretty damn smart. So I'm just going to go ahead and start here. The core false beliefs, false binaries in religion, which means, either or, black and white thinking. The first one is obey God or be punished. The frame, obedience equals love. Disobedience equals rebellion. What is hidden? Fear is substituted for relationship. There's a third way. Truthful relationship, honesty, consent, growth, and repair. This shows up explicitly in stories like the Book of Job, where refusing the obedience frame is the actual integrity move. Faith or doubt. The frame, certainty equals virtue. Questioning equals sin. What's hidden? Authority's fear of scrutiny. The third way, faith with questioning. Lived trust, experiential knowing, and humility. This is why mystics across traditions keep getting silenced. 3, you can be saved or damned. Inside the group, you're loved by God. Outside, you are rejected. What's hidden? Social control and boundary policing. Here's the third way. Belonging based on humanity, not membership. That's compassion precedes doctrine. This binary collapses instantly when confronted with lived goodness outside the system. Number 4, body equals sin or body equals irrelevant. The frame, desire is corruption. Detachment is holiness. What's hidden? Discomfort with embodiment, especially women's bodies. There's a third way. The body is a signal, not an enemy. Emotions are information, not temptation. This is where shame-based control does the most damage. Authority or chaos. The frame, hierarchy equals order. Equality equals disorder. What's hidden? The belief that humans can't self-regulate with conscience. The third way, shared responsibility plus inner moral compass, is order without domination. This is the same lie dressed up as natural law, divine order, or headship. The gendered false binary, especially harmful. Submit or be ungodly. An obedient woman is holy. A self-directed woman is dangerous. What's hidden? Fear of women's moral authority. There's a third way. Women as full moral agents, equal signal bearers. This is why female prophets, teachers, and mystics are either erased or domesticated. Why these binaries persist? This is black and white thinking. Because they simplify control, they eliminate nuance, they punish internal authority, they replace conscience with compliance. They're efficient, They're just not true. The Star Trek parallel, exactly the same move. When a captain says those aren't the only choices, they are doing what the prophets did, what mystics did, what reformers did, what truth tellers always do. They refuse to let fear set the menu. This one-line takeaway: false binaries exist wherever obedience is rewarded more than honesty, and they collapse the moment someone refuses to choose fear over truth. The core mechanism: this is how the trap works. A false binary in gender or sexuality always does the same thing. It forces the body into a no-win choice, then blames the person for suffering inside it. The system stays clean, the person carries the pain. Gendered false binaries with trauma: submit or be rejected. If you have a compliant body, you're safe. If you have a self-directed body, you're, I think that's ashamed. Well, that's not what it is, but it's not acceptable. Gendered false binaries in trauma: submit or be rejected. A compliant body is safe. Here it is again. A self-directed body is punished. So if you're following a food plan, you are being compliant. What does this mean? The nervous system learns safety requires shrinking. Must follow a strict self-policing, a strict food plan. Your safety is in shrinking. This creates freeze, fawn, or dissociation, not character flaws, but survival strategies. Well, here's the third way: safety through truthful presence, consent, boundaries, and choice. You can be pure or polluted. If you have a desire-free body, that is good. So what they're saying here is if you have no cravings, your body is good. If you have a desiring body that has cravings, it's dirty. Wow, pretty crazy. What this does: normal sensation becomes threats. The body turns against itself. There's a third way: desire as information. It's neither idolized nor shamed. It's only information. Trauma and body shame, here's the handoff. Since the binary is internalized, trauma does this: sensation becomes danger. Emotion is weakness. Appetite is lack of control. Pleasure is guilt. So the body becomes monitored, corrected, and silenced. What this does: the body becomes public property. Third way: I do not belong to the gaze. The body is inhabited, not displayed. Sexual trauma, the cruelest binary. Consent or coercion. This is a false version. If you didn't fight hard enough, you chose it. If your body responded, you wanted it. What's hidden? The nervous system's automatic responses. Here's the third way: truthful physiology. Bodies respond without consent. Consent is always conscious. This reframes shame back to where it belongs. Nowhere. Shame belongs nowhere in sexual trauma. Why the system needs body shame. Because a person who trusts their sensations, believes their emotions, listens to their body, is ungovernable by fear. Body shame keeps people externally referenced, self-policing, dependent on authority for worth. Here's a third way, the healing pattern. Across gender, trauma, and body image, the third way is always the same. Signal instead of judgment. Sensations are information. Emotions are messages. Needs are legitimate. Presence instead of control. Stay with the feeling. Let the feeling complete. There's no moral overlay, which means morals have nothing to do with feelings. Relationship instead of obedience. Relationship with self, with body, and with truth. This is why healing feels like coming home, not fixing. Star Trek translation, because, of course, when a captain says, I refuse both harm and compliance, they are doing exactly what trauma recovery does. Refusing self-erasure, refusing domination, choosing integrity over safety theater. The body finally gets a third option too. Gender trauma and body shame are not personal failures. They are predictable results of false binaries imposed on living bodies, and they dissolve when the body is trusted as a signal. And that went a lot quicker than I thought. Hey, thanks for listening.